What is the punishment for underage drinking and also for the parents that host parties?
Well, for the parents, we just recently at a party that we arrived at, the parent was arrested and taken to jail. The kids were summoned. It was their first offense, and that can range from anything from community service to fines to probation. So there's a range with that, but for parents or adults that are hosting parties or providing alcohol to minors, there's very strict consequences for that.
What do you think about underage drinking?
I think it's dumb because you're losing your inhibitions and you're going to do something that you're going to regret later on and just do stupid stuff, and people are going to be like, wow, that's dumb. And like, I don't know, I just think that people shouldn't drink because they're not mature enough to handle responsibilities that come with it.
Well, my mom and my dad were both alcoholics. I was a child of an alcoholic. My mom and dad had drank most of their marriage, 20 years, and they came to a place in their life where they decided that they needed some help. And so recovery was an option. And so they went to the St. Mary's Rehabilitation Center for Drugs and Alcohol. My mom and dad both become members of Alcoholics Anonymous, and they enrolled me in a program called Alateen. That's for children of alcoholics. Right away, I rebelled. I rebelled right away at having to take part in a program such as that. And little did I know that my rebellion was going to cause me a great deal of trouble. And so one way that I rebelled is I started myself to dabble a little bit here and a little bit there with alcohol, and therefore becoming an alcoholic myself. I ended up getting in trouble, living on the streets for a while. My mom and dad booted me out of the house when I was 15 years old. I had to live at a men's halfway house. I was in and out of detoxes, rehabs, homeless missions, and in and out of jails as well. And so it's not an easy road. It's a hard road. As I mentioned earlier, I spent 3 years in the 9th grade and dropped out. And as a result of that, I've had a hard time making a living. And so therefore, I would discourage any type of alcohol or drug use whatsoever. And but yet, like I said earlier, I'm celebrating 13 years of sobriety, and I'm happy about that.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Why do you think kids drink?
To be cool, and there's a lot of peer pressure, and just to stay in the in crowd.
I think most kids think that most of the kids drink, so they feel like to be in, they have to do that. So a lot of kids walk into the high school believing these lies and start drinking.
If I could say one thing now, it's to incoming freshmen that in the next few years, a lot of you will acquire your driver's licenses, and I'd advise all of you now to never drink and drive. There are so many deaths in the state that are results of drinking and driving, and I think that nobody should have to go through a lot of pain in life, you or somebody else, because of drinking and driving. So if there's anything I'd say now is to completely avoid that.
Go ahead and ask it.
What do you think about underage drinking?
I think that you should just do what feels right for you and be able to say no if you want to say no, and not let people pressure you into doing things that you don't want to do, that you just stay true to yourself.
I really value the youth in our community and what they want to do with their lives. It's scary to think that underage drinking can get a life off track with the start of just one drink. Some think that underage drinking is no big deal, but I have learned that young people who begin drinking before age 15 are 4 times more likely to develop a dependence on alcohol than someone who takes a drink by the age of 21. My question is, if it affects the brain, affects the body, and affects your self-control, is it worth it?